Some of us think a relationship failed because the love disappeared. But sometimes the real problem is that there was plenty of love and very little commitment because loving someone is easy when everything feels good. The real question is what happens when feelings change, problems appears, and real life becomes inconvenient? I think one of the biggest misunderstandings about relationships is the belief that love alone is enough. We have been told stories about love our entire lives, right? Movies talk about it, songs talk about it, social media talks about it. Almost everywhere we look, people speak about finding love as if that's the final destination. But what many people discover later is that finding love and maintaining a relationship are two completely different things. Because love and commitment are not the same thing. Love is a feeling, commitment is a choice. Love can happen unexpectedly, commitment happens intentionally. Love can be powerful. Commitment is what gives power, direction. I think most people have experienced moments when feelings change, not just in relationships, but in life. There are days when we are motivated and days when we are not, days when we are excited and days when we are tired. Yeah, days when things feel easy and days when everything feels difficult. Feelings naturally rise and fall. That's part of being human. The problem comes when people build an entire relationship on feelings alone. Because feelings are not designed to carry the entire weight of a long term relationship. There will be days when love feels effortless. There will be also days when it requires work. There will be days when everything feels exciting. There will be also days when life feels ordinary. Commitment is what helps people continue showing up during those ordinary days. I've realized that many people love the idea of commitment until commitment starts requiring sacrifice. Because commitment sounds beautiful when life is easy. It's much harder when misunderstandings happen, when stress happens, when challenges happen, when disappointments happen. That is when commitment becomes visible. Anyone can stay when everything is perfect. Commitment reveals itself when things are not. Another thing I have learned is that love often focuses on emotion, while commitment focuses on action. A person can say they love you, but commitment asks different questions. Do they keep their promises? Do they remain consistent? Do they show when things become difficult? Do the actions match their words? Because words are easy, actions are expensive, and commitment is usually measured through actions. This message is for me too because I think many of us have confused intense feelings with lasting commitment at some point in our lives. We have mistaken attraction for commitment, excitement for commitment, chemistry for commitment. But those things, while important, are always, let me say, are not always the same. You can be attracted to someone without being committed to them. You can feel strong emotions without being prepared to build a life together. You can love someone and still lack the maturity required for a healthy relationship. That's a difficult truth for many people to accept. And I also think commitment is misunderstood because people assume it removes freedom. But in reality, commitment is often is often what creates stability. Think about it. Every meaningful achievement in life requires commitment. A career requires commitment. A business requires commitment. Personal growth requires commitment. Friendship, it requires commitment. What about marriage? Marriage requires commitment. Anything valuable usually requires consistency over time. Relationships are no different. The older I get, the more I realize that commitment is not about staying because everything is perfect. It's about choosing to invest in something, even when perfection does not exist. That does not mean tolerating abuse. It does not mean accepting disrespect. It does not mean remaining in unhealthy situations. Healthy commitment should never require abandoning your dignity or well being. Okay? But within healthy relationships, commitment often means working through challenges instead of immediately running from them. Another thing people learn too late is that commitment is not a single decision. It's a series of decisions. Choosing respect during disagreement, choosing honesty when lying would be easier, choosing communication instead of silence, choosing effort instead of neglect. choosing loyalty when temptation appears. It is choosing relationship again and again. Okay, that is what commitment looks like in real life. Not one grand gesture, 1,000 small decisions. I have also noticed that many people are searching for someone who will always make them feel in love, but feelings naturally change. The deeper question is whether two people are willing to remain committed when those feelings fluctuate, because every long term relationship eventually leaves the honeymoon phase. Every relationship eventually encounters challenges. Every relationship eventually faces moments that test both people. And when those moments arrive, commitment often becomes more important than emotion. Maybe that is why some people, or let me say, some relationships survive storms while others collapse under pressure. Not because one couple loved each other more, but it is because one couple understood that love is strengthened by commitment. Without commitment, love can become fragile. Without commitment, love has room to grow deeper. Love may be what starts a relationship, but commitment is often what sustains it.